Well, we're back in the ghost town of Shaniko, Oregon. Hey everybody, this is Bob. Welcome to Things I Like. Well, they've gone and done it. After almost 20 years, the folks here in Shaniko have restored, refreshed, revitalized, and reopened the Shaniko Hotel. Shaniko may be technically a ghost town, but it's actually very much alive. It's still a real town, with a town government, a mayor, a gas station, a cafe, a post office, and even a radio station, 99.9 FM, The Ghost. It still has a couple of dozen real living people who call it home, and while it might be a ghost of its former wool capital of the world's self, it is certainly not dead. I always figured that a real town had to have the three essentials: gas, food, and lodging. So, with the reopening of the Shaniko Hotel, it's more alive than it has been in a long time. Which is why we're back, to avail ourselves of the opportunity to stay at a real ghost town hotel, possibly with real ghosts. So they say. The location where Shaniko is today started in the early 1860s as a camp or stopping point called Cross Hollow, on the route to the goldfields of Canyon City, Oregon. In the 1870s, settlers began arriving in the area. One of those settlers was August Shaniko, who became Cross Hollow's first postmaster. Some folks in the area had trouble pronouncing his name and took to calling him, and eventually the entire community, Shaniko. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing his name correctly either, so feel free to leave helpful comments in the comment section. In 1900, the Columbia Southern Railway built a rail line to Shaniko. The city was incorporated in 1901 and for a decade or so saw the explosive growth of a boom town. Not a gold or silver boom town, but a wool boom town. During that time, Shaniko was known as the wool capital of the world, but other commodities like wheat, cattle, and sheep were shipped out to the greater world from Shaniko too. Those were some pretty good times in Shaniko. In fact, in the peak year of 1904, the town recorded $5 million in wool sales. That's pretty good money, even these days, but it was a virtual fortune back then. With all that money floating around, I guess people needed a nice place to stay. So between 1900 and 1902, the Columbia Southern Railway built the Columbia Southern Hotel, known these days as the Shaniko Hotel, the place where we'll be spending the night tonight. Well, the boom times never last, and they didn't in Shaniko either. By 1911, another rail line had opened that did not pass through Shaniko. It billed itself as a more direct, quick, and natural route. From that point on, Shaniko began to decline. The rail line to Shaniko was discontinued completely in 1966. In the 80s, a Portland businessman purchased properties in Shaniko with the hopes of producing an Old West ghost town tourist attraction. But there were issues with water, and the plan went nowhere. The hotel was closed for about 16 years, but recently has been restored and reopened, and is now managed by the South Wasco Fire and Rescue nonprofit. Shaniko sits just off some curves on Highway 97, which is a major north-south route through Oregon. The problem with curves is that sometimes people fail to turn, which is what happened to Shaniko's ice cream shop. A few of the buildings that are still in good shape are the fire station, the public restrooms, and the town hall. The restrooms are, by the way, free and clean. No code or coin required. Around the side of the town hall is the old marshal's office. with the original 1901 town jail inside. I don't think it's used anymore, but it could be. Something to remember in case some desperado tries to rob the town bank. Don't forget to tune in when you're in town, or just stop in. It's also a candy shop. Well, the old trading post and saloon has gone dry, but it still has the old bar and a lot of reasonably priced antiques. The informative signs are well worth a stroll down the sidewalk. A ghost of a piano, nothing but bones. I hope somebody checks that from time to time, just to be sure. A great little museum for those that might want to know more about local history. Shaniko does have a school. I just don't think it has any children. There is a church in town. It seems to have an open door policy. I hear there's an occasional service here, as well as a once-in-a-blue-moon wedding. That's good advice. Well, we've had a bite to eat at the cafe, and it's time to check into and check out the Shaniko Hotel. For a hotel like this, the lobby is in great shape. I'm not sure how much is original and how much is renovation, but it looks beautiful. I'm not sure what this side room was originally used for, maybe a saloon, but it looks like the remodeling is ongoing. The stairs have just the right amount of creakiness. I love the wallpaper. The blue ball there on the floor is said to belong to the spirit of a girl called Amelia. They say it moves on its own. Room 14 on the right here is said to be haunted by a woman named Nettie. The back stairs aren't as grand as the main stairs, but provide a more discreet way upstairs from what may have been the saloon portion of the establishment, as well as an exit in case of emergency. The post office across the street, and the church to the right in the distance. We stayed in room number 2. Not a bad room for a ghost town, and for the price. The town gets very quiet after dark, and after most of the tourists leave. At night, the hotel becomes an inviting beacon in the dark. Well, morning has come, and it's time to get on down the road. As far as I know, we didn't see any ghosts in the town or the hotel, although the blue ball was moved, and I'm sure no guests or hotel staff would ever do that. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, and some not like this, please subscribe.